Hi, this is Alex from devstories.eu. Azure Pipelines, Episode 4 of 10. You might think your pipeline only executes when someone pushes a commit, but in a mature system, pipelines are far more proactive, running different types of validation at entirely different times. We are talking about automating the workflow with triggers. Triggers define exactly what events cause your pipeline to run. The most common type is the continuous integration, or CI trigger. A CI trigger fires automatically whenever code is pushed to a specified branch. In your pipeline file, you define this using a simple trigger block. You can tell it to listen to the main branch, but ignore specific file paths like documentation folders. This keeps your pipeline from wasting time building the application when someone only fixed a typo in a text file. That handles code that is already moving into a branch, but you usually want to catch errors before the merge happens. This is the job of pull request triggers. A PR trigger fires when a pull request is opened or when new commits are pushed to that existing pull request. Its primary purpose is to protect the target branch by validating the incoming code. Here's the key insight. There's a common trap developers fall into with PR triggers. When a pull request triggers a pipeline, Azure Pipelines evaluates the configuration using the YAML file located in the source branch, not the target branch. The logic governing the validation comes from the feature branch itself. If you make changes to the pipeline configuration in your feature branch, those changes apply to the PR run. PR triggers need to be fast. If you configure a PR trigger, you should use it to run quick operations like unit tests and code linting. You want developers to get feedback in minutes. But some operations like deep static analysis or heavy security scans take much longer. A 2-hour security scan will paralyze your team if you attach it to a PR trigger. That brings us to the third type, scheduled triggers. Instead of reacting to code movement, scheduled triggers execute pipelines based on a clock. They use standard cron syntax to define specific days and times for the pipeline to run. You define a schedules block in your YAML file, specify the cron expression, and list the branches you want to build. You can combine these triggers to build an efficient workflow. During the day, your PR triggers run fast unit tests on feature branches to keep development moving. Meanwhile, you configure a scheduled trigger to kick off that 2-hour security scan every midnight against the main branch. You can even set the scheduled trigger to execute only if new commits were merged since the previous night, skipping the run entirely over a quiet weekend, saving compute costs. Using these triggers together allows you to decouple fast developer feedback from deep system validation. Triggers are not just start buttons. They are the architectural controls that decide how and when your computing resources are spent. Appreciate you listening. Catch you next time.